Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. In this episode, we are going to talk about one of those fascinating questions that have been on people's minds for quite a long time. What if the world had a time machine? It is a question that has many possible answers and all of them interesting. But before we get into it, remember to subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notified whenever we post new videos. Also, give this video a thumbs up if you like the topic we are discussing today. And without further ado, let's get started. The idea of time travel is a staple in science fiction stories, but what if it were real? If the world had a time machine, how would it change our lives? In this video, we will explore some of the potential ways that time travel could impact our world. So, stay tuned. Time travel is a concept that has fascinated humans for centuries. From the earliest science fiction stories to the latest blockbuster movies, the idea of being able to travel through time is incredibly appealing. But what if time travel wasn't just a fantasy? What if it were real? How would our world be different if we had the ability to travel through time? One of the most obvious impacts of time travel on our world would be the potential to change history. With the ability to travel to the past, we could go back and prevent major disasters or even alter the course of major historical events. For example, we could go back and stop the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand, which sparked World War I, or prevent the sinking of the Titanic, which resulted in the deaths of over 1,500 people. However, this raises ethical questions about the butterfly effect and whether altering even small events in the past could have unintended and potentially disastrous consequences for the future. The famous quote, "Don't be sorry, be better," sums up why traveling to the past can lead to unwanted consequences. If you went back in time and killed Hitler, then you might end up creating an alternate timeline where someone worse takes his place. Therefore, it can be argued that no matter what time period you go back to, you should never make any changes to the past. Despite the potential dangers of changing history, the ability to travel to the past could also offer incredible opportunities for learning and understanding. We could go back and witness major historical events firsthand, such as the signing of the Declaration of Independence or the fall of the Berlin Wall. We could also go back and observe ancient civilizations, or even see dinosaurs for ourselves. This would give us a unique perspective on history and allow us to learn things that we simply can't from books or documentaries. But what about traveling to the future? What would it be like to travel to the year 2000 or 3000? The ability to travel to the future could give us insights into what lies ahead for humanity. We could see how our current problems and issues are resolved, or discover new technologies and innovations that have yet to be developed. However, traveling to the future could also be dangerous. We may witness things that are too advanced or too different from our own time, which could be disorienting or even traumatizing. Additionally, if we were to travel to a future where certain diseases or environmental problems have already caused major damage, we may need to find a way to get back to our own time before we are affected ourselves. So, what if the world had a time machine? How would it impact society, economy, and culture? The discovery of a time machine would undoubtedly be a major news story that would capture the attention of the entire world. Governments and scientists would race to study and understand the technology and its potential applications. Depending on the nature of the time machine, there could be both practical and scientific uses. For example, the time machine could be used to collect data and samples from different time periods, allowing scientists to learn more about the history of the universe and our planet. It could also be used to send messages back in time, allowing us to communicate with our past selves or even warn future generations about potential dangers. However, the impact of a time machine on society would likely be even greater. The ability to travel through time could have a major impact on our economy. Industries such as tourism and entertainment would likely be completely revolutionized as people from all over the world would want to travel to different time periods to experience history firsthand. However, this could also lead to major economic disparities as only the wealthy would be able to afford such experiences. Additionally, the discovery of a time machine could lead to major social and cultural changes. The ability to travel through time could challenge our understanding of history and our place in the universe. It could also raise ethical questions about the nature of time itself and what it means to be human. So, what are the challenges and limitations of time travel? While the idea of time travel is fascinating, there are some significant challenges and limitations that must be considered. One of the main challenges is the issue of causality and paradoxes. If we are able to travel to the past, it's important to consider the potential for creating paradoxes that could undermine the very fabric of time. For example, if we were to travel back in time and kill Adolf Hitler, it could create a paradox where we essentially erase ourselves from existence, since we would never have been born in a timeline where Hitler was never defeated. Additionally, even if we avoid creating paradoxes, it's important to consider the potential for unintended consequences. By traveling to the past, we could introduce new diseases or other harmful elements that could negatively impact the timeline. Another challenge of time travel is the issue of energy requirements. Traveling through time would likely require a tremendous amount of energy, potentially requiring the development of new and advanced energy sources. This could have both positive and negative implications. On the one hand, it could lead to the development of new technologies that could benefit society as a whole. On the other hand, the pursuit of these new energy sources could come at the expense of other important issues such as environmental protection. Finally, the issue of free will versus determinism is also important to consider. If we are able to travel to the past, it could raise questions about the nature of free will and whether our actions are predetermined. If we are able to travel to the past, it could mean that certain events are inevitable and that our choices don't really matter. So, what are some of the real-world implications of time travel? The implications of time travel for our real world are far-reaching and complex. If we are able to develop the technology to travel through time, it could have profound effects on everything from our understanding of the universe to the very fabric of society. While the challenges are great, the potential benefits of time travel cannot be ignored. The ability to learn from the past and prepare for the future could help us avoid many of the mistakes that have been made throughout history, and could allow us to build a better future for ourselves and future generations. Ultimately, the decision of whether or not to pursue time travel is one that we will need to make as a society. We need to carefully consider the risks and benefits and be prepared for the potential consequences. In conclusion, time travel is a fascinating concept that has captured the imaginations of scientists, philosophers, and science fiction fans for centuries. While the ability to travel through time would undoubtedly bring with it many challenges and limitations, the potential benefits are simply too great to ignore. From advancing our understanding of the universe to protecting ourselves against future threats, the ability to travel through time could help us in countless ways. As we continue to explore the mysteries of the cosmos, we may one day discover that time travel is not just a fantasy, but a real possibility. When that day comes, we need to be prepared for the challenges and limitations that come with it, but also for the incredible opportunities that await us. So, what do you think? How would you use a time machine if you had one? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss out on future videos like this. Thanks for watching.